Chapter 1. The Menace in My Penthouse. It started with a crash. Ryder Blackwell was in the middle of a private gallery showing, sipping wine, bored to death, surrounded by fake smiles and dull conversation. That's when the chaos stormed in, quite literally. Cale Rivers. Drenched from the rain, middle finger raised at the security team chasing him, and a half-eaten hot dog in one hand. He wasn't even invited. "You got a problem with me appreciating rich people's weird-ass art?" Cale snapped at a snobby critic. "Looks like my 3-year-old nephew smeared ketchup on a canvas." People gasped. "Ryder?" He blinked. His pheromones flared just slightly, his alpha instincts reacting to something they shouldn't. Another alpha, and one who was gorgeous, loud, unapologetically wild. He was chaos incarnate. Ryder watched as Cale stole 3 shrimp cocktails, threw a napkin at a CEO, and then flopped onto a chaise lounge like he owned the place. No fear, no shame. All attitude. Ryder fell, just like that, deep, fast, dangerously hard. Since that night, Cale Rivers had broken into Ryder's penthouse 6 times. And he always left behind an empty fridge, a destroyed throw pillow, and at least one confusingly warm memory. Tonight was break-in number 7. Ryder sat quietly in his home office when he heard the familiar click of the fire escape window. Cale tumbled inside, hair messy, hoodie damp from the rain. "Yo, you have cereal?" "You've already had my cereal. 3 types of cheese and half a bottle of 1985 Bordeaux," Ryder murmured, amused. Cale shrugged. "Should have locked the window." Ryder leaned back in his chair, eyes glowing, just faintly gold. "Why do you keep coming back, Cale?" Cale grinned. "Because it's fun watching you pretend not to be in love with me." Ryder's jaw tightened. He was dosing the room subtly again, his pheromones mixing into the air slowly, making Cale's body relax. His scent receptors flare just a little more each time. "I'm not pretending." Cale blinked. "I am in love with you," Ryder said simply. "I've been in love with you since you ruined my gallery and insulted a $2 million sculpture." Cale blinked harder. "Well, shit." Ryder's assistant barged in moments later, breathless and annoyed. "Mr. Blackwell, your alarm went off. Please tell me that man isn't here again." Cale waved with a piece of cheese in hand. The assistant groaned. "Sir, he's a walking red flag." Ryder smiled softly, watching Cale kick off his shoes and put his feet on the couch. "I like red flags," Ryder said. "I collect them." That night, Cale stayed longer than usual, watched a dumb movie with Ryder, fell asleep on his couch like it was routine. Ryder stood over him quietly, barely able to breathe. His heart thudded painfully, body burning with the urge to bite, bond, claim. But he didn't, not yet. Instead, he whispered, "Stay." Cale cracked one eye open. "You want me to move in?" "Yes." Cale laughed. "You're insane. I don't do the whole mate and settle down fairy tale." Ryder didn't push, just smiled like a man who could wait forever. But Cale kept coming back, day after day, until finally, he stopped bringing his hoodie and started sleeping in Ryder's bed instead of the couch. Chapter 2. Addicted, annoyed, and almost kissed. Living with Ryder. Blackwell was not what Cale expected. He thought he'd get bored after a week, or irritated by Ryder's overly perfect, sleek, and stainless lifestyle. But it had been almost a month, and instead of boredom, Cale was spiraling. His heart raced around Ryder. He missed him when he was gone for just a day or 2 on business trips. Missed him, like some love-struck idiot. Even worse, his body reacted every time Ryder walked past, like it knew him, like it wanted to cling, nest, scent him. Cale would be brushing his teeth and then suddenly flustered just because Ryder walked in shirtless. "What is happening to me?" Cale whispered to himself one night, gripping the sink. It all came crashing down the night Ryder returned from a 2-day trip to Paris. Cale had been jittery the whole time. Couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, kept sniffing Ryder's hoodie like a maniac. So when Ryder walked into the penthouse, smelling like clean leather and spicy cedarwood pheromones, Cale snapped. "You!" he shouted, storming into the living room. You did something to me, you bastard. Ryder, calm as ever, placed his suitcase down. Hello to you too, Kale. Don't play dumb. I feel wrong when you're not here. I get anxious. My body heats up when you're around, and I swear I almost growled at your assistant last week. Ryder tilted his head. That did happen, yes. Kale narrowed his eyes. What did you do? Ryder took a slow breath. I let my pheromones leak. Kale stared. You what? Just a little, over time, to help you feel more comfortable, bonded. Bonded? I'm an alpha. I don't bond. That's not even how it works. What the hell kind of pheromone trickery is this? I never forced it, Ryder said gently. Your body just responded to mine. You're drawn to me because you want to be, even if you're too stubborn to admit it. Kale's scent spiked with anger and confusion. You manipulative billionaire jerk. I knew you were up to something. And then he stormed off, packed a bag, slammed the guest bedroom door. He lasted 6 hours. At 2:04 a.m., Kale stood in front of Ryder's bedroom door. He looked miserable, eyes puffy, shirt wrinkled, lips bitten raw. I can't sleep, he muttered. Ryder, already awake, opened the door slowly. Come in. Kale climbed into bed without a word. Didn't even protest when Ryder pulled the covers over him. They laid in silence, Kale's back pressed to Ryder's chest. Their heartbeats synced, the air warm with pheromones. I hate how good you smell, Kale whispered. I love you too, Ryder replied softly. Kale turned his head slightly, eyes locking with Ryder's. For a second, Ryder leaned in, barely inches from Kale's lips, but then he stopped. Not yet, he said. You're not ready. When I kiss you, it'll be forever. Kale's heart pounded. He didn't respond. But he stayed. Chapter 3. Bitten, Bonded, and Buried in Luxury. It started with a bowl of cereal. More specifically, Ryder's limited edition imported from France cereal that Kale finished without remorse. Ryder found the empty box and asked very calmly, Did you eat the last of my $300 cereal? Kale, munching on chips, shrugged. I was hungry. Get over it, rich boy. Kale, it's not like you even eat breakfast. Because you eat everything before I get a chance. And that was the spark. The argument escalated quickly. Two alphas, scents flaring, pheromones crackling in the air like electricity. Ryder's composed persona started to slip. Kale's chaotic energy turned into something hot, uncontrollable, feral. Stop scenting the damn air, Kale barked, voice shaking. I can't help it, Ryder snapped, eyes glowing. You drive me crazy. Kale shoved him. Ryder shoved back. Their bodies collided, pheromones thick and dizzying, Kale's heart thudding like a war drum. I told you I don't want to bond, Kale growled. You already have, Ryder said darkly. Then he grabbed Kale by the waist, slammed him gently against the wall, and bit into the curve of his neck. Sharp, dominant, possessive. Kale gasped. Ryder! The bond snapped into place. Heat rushed through them both like a tidal wave. Kale tried to fight it, screamed, threw a pillow at Ryder's face, tried to bite him back. He missed and bit his shoulder instead. But then Ryder kissed him. Deeply, desperately. Kale gave in. Their clothes hit the floor. Their hearts hit the ceiling. The bond burned through them both like wildfire. The next morning, Kale woke up tangled in silk sheets, Ryder's arms around him, lips pressed to the fresh mating mark on his neck. Kale muttered. You're breathing on me. I'm reminding you that you're mine, Ryder murmured, smiling like he'd won the lottery. Forever. Kale glared. I want a divorce. We just got married last night in spirit. Ryder wasn't kidding. By the end of the week, he'd arranged the actual wedding. A billion-dollar spectacle with roses flown in from the Italian Alps, fireworks that spelled their initials in the sky, and a guest list that included royalty. Kale wore black, refused to smile, complained the whole time. But when he saw Ryder waiting at the altar, eyes soft, dressed in velvet, holding a ring that matched his mating mark, Kale's heart stuttered. And despite himself, He smiled. Just once. Now married, Ryder was unhinged. A full-on, love-drunk alpha puppy. He hugged Kale every 5 minutes, kissed his mating mark constantly, whined when Kale left the room for too long. "You can't escape now," Ryder whispered one night, wrapping his arms around Kale's waist. "You're mine, my mate, my everything." Kale groaned. "You're so clingy." Ryder covered him with pheromones like a warm blanket. "Say that again when I'm not scenting you." Kale's resistance melted like sugar in tea. "Fine," he muttered, "but I'm still mad at you for the cereal." Ryder laughed and pulled him closer. "I'll buy 100 boxes, just don't leave me." Kale, wrapped in scent and warmth and love, whispered into Ryder's chest, "Idiot, I'm already yours." Chapter 4. The Pregnant Menace. It started with a broken vase and an emotional breakdown over burnt toast. Kale had been feeling off for a week, snapping at Ryder for no reason, crying over a commercial, and nearly launching a teacup at the smart fridge when it beeped too loud. But when he threw up after sniffing Ryder's cologne, they knew. The doctor confirmed it. "You're pregnant," the man said, blinking at the two alphas. Kale's mouth fell open. "I'm what? I'm carrying your demon spawn? You rich psycho." Ryder smiled like it was Christmas morning. "We're having a baby." Kale screamed. Ryder had to physically send him into calmness, wrapping his arms around him, murmuring soft reassurances, and flooding the room with calming pheromones until Kale finally sagged against his chest. "You're evil," Kale hissed. "You're glowing," Ryder whispered, kissing his temple. The next few months were chaotic. Kale, true to form, complained about everything. "I feel fat." "You're radiant." "I want spicy noodles dipped in whipped cream." "Already ordered in 5 flavors." "My ankles are swollen." "I'll rub them for 3 hours straight." Ryder was relentless in his love. He hired the best prenatal care team, built a nursery that looked like it belonged in a royal palace, and ordered mood ring shirts that changed colors based on Kale's scent fluctuations. He even kissed Kale's swollen belly every night and whispered sweet nothings to the twins growing inside. "You're spoiling me," Kale mumbled one evening, stretched across Ryder's lap. Ryder rubbed his back gently. "You're my entire world, let me." The night the twins were born, Ryder cried before Kale did. 2 healthy, strong Alpha Enigma hybrid babies, one with Kale's wild eyes and the other with Ryder's soft dimples. Ryder held them like they were treasure. Kale held him, exhausted but strangely content. "This is insane," Kale whispered later, cradling one of the babies. "We're insane." "Maybe," Ryder said, wrapping an arm around his mate. "But we're a family now." Weeks passed. The house was louder, messier, filled with baby cries and warm bottles and the occasional curse word when Kale stepped on a rattle. One evening, Kale leaned back into Ryder's arms on the nursery couch, both babies finally asleep. "You better raise these twins," Kale grumbled, eyes heavy. "I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. every night." Ryder chuckled. "Only if you stay mine forever." Kale didn't answer right away, but he leaned in, kissed his husband's jaw, and mumbled, "Deal." Kale was still a menace. He still picked fights, broke vases, and complained like it was his full-time job. But Ryder adored him. Because Kale Blackwell was chaos incarnate. But he was his chaos, his mate, his husband, his children's mother, and most importantly, the love of his life. Until the very end, Ryder Blackwell remained a lovesick, obsessed alpha puppy for his loud, bitey, pregnant menace of a mate. And he wouldn't have it any other way.